Who else is just sick and tired of being single? You feel miserable right now because you are single. I hope none of you raised your hands. I hope none of you agreed with that statement because being single is such a pivotal time in your life. And today we're going to talk about how to enjoy your single season. Welcome to Be a Better Baddie. Welcome back to Be a Better Baddie. My name is Tanisha and I am your host, your cheerleader, your coach, your teacher, and your fellow baddie. And today we are here to talk about being in your single season. I am actually recording this, so I'm making my first YouTube video along with this. It's a little weird because I can kind of see myself, but I kind of can't see myself. And I feel like I need to interact with the camera as well. So I am going to wave to the camera. So if you are watching this, you see me sleepy faced because I literally just woke up an hour ago and said, let me record my podcast as a YouTube video. So I'm here. So last episode, we talked about not dating down. If you didn't listen to that episode, go back and listen to it. And of course, like if you are not dating or in a relationship, then you are single. So that was for you. And talking about not dating down, even if you are in a relationship, you should think about that, right? We don't really want to date down per se. But I also have friends who are in the dating world and there are a lot of crazy things going on. So being single is not the worst thing in the world right now. And there are, from what I see, very few viable options. But the notion of being miserable and single has never crossed my mind because I enjoy my alone time thoroughly. I'm not an only child, but I definitely have only child tendencies, and I feel like I grew up as an only child. So I love that. So I would just be like, oh, I'm by myself. And historically, like, I don't know if it's just, I don't know what it is. And I don't want this to sound like a brag because it's not. But I've never been the type to, like, not want a boyfriend and not have a boyfriend, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, let me know. Okay, so I just want to go into a little bit more detail about what I actually mean. So my relationship history is that typically I've always had a boyfriend. I was never super intentional about it. Like, I am dating this person or I am seeking out this person or I need a person here. But for the most part, my past boyfriends were like really huge sparks that turned into huge fires. And those fires either fizzled out on their own or they were put out by a sudden heavy rain. That's the metaphor that I thought of, and I thought it was pretty accurate. So yeah, that is how I would describe it. But looking back, and I don't know if my 18 through 25-year-old brain was thinking this, but my 20s wasn't the time for me to find my forever and actually settle down. You know, like, me thinking back, like, my 24-year-old brain really couldn't fully conceptualize, like, what a long-term relationship actually took, what it looked like in life, how I wanted to show up in that relationship, and what I really wanted in a partner. I think during that time, though, I was able to gain tons of experience and basically inform all the unknown to me at that moment. So around 26 to 28 is when I would say I kind of lost interest in relationships because I seen like what they could be. And that was the first time I really stepped outside of like my normal patterns of life and did explore outside avenues. So I mean, just using dating apps or actively like taking the people that I met out seriously, because most of the people that I did date, they just happened to be in my circle anyways, right? But I will also say, because I was intentionally single during that time, I was able to set goals that were coming from solely me and they were to serve me. Do everything that I wanted to do and basically make me who I am today. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty proud of myself. So, we're going to talk about how to enjoy your singledom, because enjoying your singledom is essential to your life, whether you believe it or not. I had a great time. I was single, and I think I was really able to build like a fruitful life for myself. And I realized I didn't need anyone else for completion, but only enhancement. So whenever people are saying they're looking for their other half, it's just thinking about that statement. Like, is it really your other half, or like that person that enhances your life rather than completes it? So when you enter your next relationship, it'll feel great just knowing that you chose to be there, rather than, oh, I actually needed this person because they make me feel comfortable here and I would have never done this, or I don't know, but something that makes it feel like the person is completing your life rather than enhancing it, because you are a complete person on your own. You still have to do your own thing. So let's jump straight into it and talk about the single phase and how to actually maximize it. I feel like in general, the sentiment for team I hate being single is that your life is on pause. You feel like you can't start all the adult activities yet because you don't actually have a partner to engage in those activities with, and that is very, very far from the truth. Very, very far. So, for instance, I thought about this. Like, before I started at my most recent job, the notion of buying a house really seemed like a group thing, right? I need someone else to do it with me because that's just what I thought, right? So the thought of me buying a house as a single woman never crossed my mind before. But once I came across it from my boss at the time, my supervisor at the time, and she was a single woman. And when I heard she had a house, I was like, that's smart. Like, I have a dog, and like, it'd be nice for him to have a yard, you know? And I actually do want more space, because at that point I was looking for a 2-bedroom apartment, and 2-bedroom prices are crazy expensive for no reason. And I was like, well, for that price, I might as well get the whole shebang. But I'm not here to go into whether or not this is a everybody should buy a house podcast, because it has its pros and cons, definitely. But I started looking for my house as a single woman, you know? And I was actually dating a guy at the time. I was actually kind of exiting a relationship with somebody, and I never told them like what I was doing, what my plans were, because I knew he couldn't come into that next chapter with me. I was intentional that he would not be involved in looking at any houses with me, meeting any realtors. Like, I did that all on my own, and I invited a select few on the journey when I felt like it was time for them, or I needed their input, or wanted their input rather. So I still think that was crazy, that I even thought that. I don't know. I wish I could go back to that mindset and see why I thought that. But I mean, I did it all, right? So I just said it. I spent time doing research. I talked with realtors. I was checking my bank, and I was like, I think I could do this on my own, and there's no reason really for me to wait, you know? So that's an adult activity that most of us feel like is reserved for couples only. You don't have to wait on other people to engage in those activities that you do want to do, or any goals that you set for yourself. So other activities you don't need to wait for a partner are, and these are my favorite. So waiting to go on a vacation, like, you have friends and family you can go on vacation with. You have coworkers you can go on vacation with. You should take advantage of that. Buying yourself jewelry. You don't have to wait on your engagement ring to be the first ring you purchase for yourself. Buy yourself some earrings. Buy yourself the things that you want, or just anything. I mean, I say jewelry because I know that, you know, a ring is that, and get your own stuff, right? And this one, I would even say celebrating yourself. Don't wait until a man gets on his knee and proposes to you to then have a week full of celebrations, engagement parties, ring buying parties, all the parties, right? There's nothing wrong with those parties, but I always hate how That's the only time women are really celebrated. If you know me personally, then you know my birthday is always a full weekend, right? I'm celebrating myself until I get tired of it. Literally the last day of every birthday weekend, I'm just like, I need to cut it out. This is too much. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to keep going. But you think I'm going to wait until a man proposes to me to then gather all the people around me who want to celebrate me to do that? It'll go down every year. So maybe you'll get invited next time. Just let me know if you want to get invited to my birthday this year. Next year. In 2023. I don't know when this episode's coming out. But let me know, okay? It'll go down every year. Just expect more celebration. My existence with and without a man is validating and enhancing to everyone. Second thing I want you to keep in mind while living your second life, and I guess this is really the first if it applies to you, but get over your ex. Get over your ex. You can't really enjoy that time you're alone if you are constantly thinking about what your life used to be or the person you used to be with. I thought about doing a full episode on this. I still may do it, still may not, but decided to throw it in here because it belongs. If you want me to do a separate episode, do DM me or leave a comment, let me know, and I will do that separate episode. But if you are fresh out of your relationship, whatever that may mean, meaning you broke up last week or maybe a year ago and you're still not over it, it's time to hang it up. Flat screen. It's over, okay? You will not be able to enjoy that journey because you are constantly thinking about the time you were in a relationship. So here's some questions I do encourage you to start to think about if you are in this situation. And even, I started thinking about them too. And I'm way over every ex, but it's still important to think about. 1, do you miss the idea of being in a relationship or that person? Okay. Sometimes some of us are just so comfortable in a relationship that the idea of being on our own is a little jarring, right? And then if it's that you miss that person, what were that qualities that you miss about them, right? So this is the second question. If you miss that person, what was it that that person was bringing into your life that you can't do on your own? Was this person funny? Go to a comedy club. Get some funnies in there. You don't need that person, okay? Was this person strong? You get strong. Figure it out. Figure out how you can put it into your own life. And I know it sounds like harsh love. That is the way I communicate. It is harsh love, but it is what it is, right? Take it and move with it. The next one. Oh, I already said this. Is there any way you can bring those missing qualities or experiences into your life on your own? Okay? There could be a way for you to do it. I remember I've always wanted to, but also things that you miss are things that you already have inside of you. That person kind of just, I don't know, pulled it out or shined the flashlight on it. So when I think about like holidays, like I really liked when my ex-boyfriend, like his family would always like come together, they'd have a big party and all that. And I've always wanted to like have parties. Like I'm always an event planner or something. Like I love to plan events and happenings and celebrations and things like that. So eventually, like I started planning those things because I do like to do those things, but I was kind of afraid to do it because I think that it was kind of shunned, I guess, maybe from my childhood. We'll move on though. Last question. So what, now what? I love this question. It happened. Now what are you going to do? That's always my favorite. Like, it's okay for you to sit in your emotions sometimes because it is necessary, but sometimes you can drag it way too long. So don't drag it. Your ex is your ex for a reason. Sometimes we tend to romanticize the past, and it probably wasn't even that good. Just leave it alone. All right. Next. Fill your time with the things that bring you joy. And this is why I love to be alone. I can fill my time with so many things, right? There are so many things for you to do in this world. You find joy in working out, painting, coloring in a coloring book. That's fun. Watching all the reality shows, your brain can allow baking, bird watching, knitting, working, like actually working, doing your job. Just do it. Like, fill your time with that, because being in a relationship really takes up a lot of time. I was reading this article, and it basically just said like your romantic relationship is like the core. It was talking about the number of friendship circles you can have. If I can find the picture, I'll put it in here. But it's called Dunbar Circle, and in the core, not your best friend, your romantic partner's in the middle, and basically your romantic partner takes up two relationships. Your romantic partner is worth two whole people. Wow. So yeah, it takes up a lot of time, and it really is a big time investment. So while you're single, take the time to invest in yourself and really invest in that relationship that you do have with yourself. So whatever that is, do it, because at the end of the day, if you're doing activities that bring you joy, it's going to make you a joyful person that's satisfied with their lives and themselves. If you want to think about the next step, this is actually preparing you for your next relationship, because you're building the foundation of your personhood. Your next person is going to meet you. They're going to see all the activities you do as a part of you, and it won't disrupt your being. Long story short, find a hobby and flourish in it. Love it. Do it. Do the things you love, because they make you who you are. All right. So a part of filling your things with time that bring you joy are also trying new things. So try the new hairstyle, try the new workout class, try the new makeup, try the trip you want, try it all, right? Because this is all a part of you becoming the most complete version of yourself. Yes, we are constantly evolving, but I think you're just evolving to the next level or the next iteration of yourself, right? When you're single, you have full physical, mental independence, full reign. And I am not saying that you don't have independence in a relationship, but being in a relationship will require you to make some compromises. A healthy relationship, not one of those you need to change the way you do this type of thing. Not that. Healthy compromises. Healthy relationship equals healthy compromises, because the two of you are trying to coexist together, right? So every decision you make as a single person is only going to impact you, generally speaking. Of course, it can impact your friends or family, but generally speaking, your relationship, being single is only going to impact you. So take the time out to try new things. Go out of your way to meet new people. Discover new things about yourself, because ultimately, you are the person that you're going to spend the most time with. Even when you are spending time with your partner, you're spending time with yourself, because you are in that experience, right? So you want to make sure that you get to know yourself the best, and you don't want to feel like you are lacking anything. So try everything so that you don't feel that wondering, I wonder what would have happened if or maybe I should just do it. And I know that one's easier said than done. So for instance, one of my things that I wanted to do, I still want to do it, but I know I'm scared. I'm too scared, is a solo vacation. So I'm afraid, one, of a solo road trip, because I live in Texas, and okay. And then I don't know. It's just, and I also watch too many true crime, listen to too many true crime things, and I just have it all stored in my brain. I already know what could happen, so I'm just too afraid to do that. So this is the last one on how to enjoy your single season, and it's set new standards. Use this time to set the new standards that you want in your next partner. And basically everything that I've discussed already is helping you set a new standard. So I thought about this when me and my ex broke up, got back together, right? You break up, get back together, same person, right? You're not able to set new standards, because when you broke up because they did something you didn't like, and then you get back together, you're still the same people, right? I mean, unless you took like 2-ish years in between, I'd say, like if you took an extended break. But when you're going back to back, like you can't really come back and say, hey, last month I know I was this type of girl, but this month I'm this type of girl. You can, you're more than welcome to say that, but that person doesn't have to accept that, and they probably wouldn't, because they're gonna be like, girl, please. Okay? So you're able to take this time being single to set a new standard, right? So when you take the time to explore, enjoy, you're able to build this new standard and protect your space and your peace so much that you're not just willing to let any old body run up in your space, okay? We have to protect our space and our peace. So those are all the things that you can do to enjoy your single season, but I do want to close with this. All these things are ultimately developing yourself for yourself to make you into the person that you are proud of and that you love and that you want to spend time with and you want to protect, right? They have nothing to do with attracting a partner, but I do believe that it is that attracting a quality partner when you do these things is a consequence of doing so. You will attract a healthy partner. You will attract an unhealthy partner. You will attract everything because healthy, complete people tend to attract everyone. So you're going to have to sort through all that, right? I'm paddling like a dog. You have to sort through all that and use your discernment. Stop hating the phase of life that you are in and embrace it. And I know, again, it's easier said than done, but I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and there's a reason you're experiencing this season. So your single season is going to teach you so much about yourself, and also there's so much more to life than romance and romantic relationships. You're missing everything that is going on in your life because you are like, where's Bae? Where's Bae? Okay. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let me know what you think about this episode. You know, you can DM me, you can comment me. I'm at Be a Better Baddie on Instagram and on YouTube. And that's all I have to say today, pretty people. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day or your evening whenever you're listening to this, and I will talk to you later. Bye.